Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephen Maddock and I've got the honour and the privilege to be your chair. Before I start the meeting itself, just a couple of housekeeping things. As far as we're aware, there's no fire drill today, so if the alarm does go off, we will have to evacuate the building as soon as possible down the stairways. Staff will be available to point you in the right direction and assist you if you need any help. Secondly, if you've got your mobile phones with you, could you please either switch them off or put them on silent? Thank you. In terms of the running order, we will start off with the formal AGM, and then subsequent to that, your Chief Executive, Mr. Alun Williams, will give a presentation on the performance of the Society over the last 12 months and also on the current outlook for the Society. Okay. So on that basis, I'd like to call your Secretary, Mr. Gareth Stroud, to read the notice convening the meeting. Gareth.
Notice is hereby given that the annual general meeting of the Swansea Building Society will be held at the Swansea.com Stadium on Thursday, 24th of April 2025 at noon.
Thank you. Thank you, Gareth. In terms of apologies, we've received apologies from two people, Mr. Chris Davis and Mr. Kumara. Hopefully you've seen a copy of last year's minutes. If you have, could someone please propose that they're a true record of the meeting? And a seconder, please. Thank you all. In terms now of resolutions, number 1 is to receive the annual report of accounts. And before I give you the voting numbers, I'd like to ask Daniel from our auditors, Mazars, Forbes Mazars nowadays, to come and read the audit report. An abridged version, Daniel.
Thank you, Chair. Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Madzima. I'm an audit manager with Forbes Mazars. Just to give you a summary of our opinion. In our opinion, the summary financial statement is consistent with the full annual accounts, the annual business statement, and the director's report of Swansea Building Society for the year ended 31 December 2024, and complies with the applicable requirements. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Daniel. The votes for the annual report were 1,585, and there were just 11 votes against. So the accounts have been approved. The second resolution is to reappoint Forbes Mazars, and there were 1,564 votes for, with just 24 against. So Forbes Mazars are formally reappointed. The next one is the Director's Remuneration Report. There were 1,502 votes for and only 69 against. So the Director's Remuneration Report has been approved. Next, there are 4 resolutions re-electing directors. The first one is your Chief Executive, Mr. Alun Williams, and he received 1,565 votes with only 28 against. So Alun, you're re-elected.
Okay.
Which is very good of Chief Executive on the re-elected. I've received 1,564 votes with 24 against, so thank you. The next one is Malcolm Hayes. Malcolm's received 1,559 votes with just 28 against. And finally, your Director of Risk and Compliance, Catherine Griffiths. Catherine received 1,559 votes and there were only 31 against. And on that basis, that concludes the formal part of the AGM. I'd like to ask now your Chief Executive, Mr. Williams, to come and give us a performance review.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Swansea Building Society Lounge in the Swansea.com Stadium to this year's annual general meeting. It's really good to see so many of you here after we've, or the staff I should say, have put in such a hard work in delivering the results which I'm about to show you. So 2024, the trading conditions remained challenging as both global and domestic pressures continued to impact the UK savings and mortgage markets. The UK has seen a change of government, and we've yet to fully understand the impact of the policies that the newly elected government will operate in the markets that we're in. The Bank of England base interest rate peaked at 5.25% in 2024, representing a 16-year high. As a result of inflation reducing to nearer the bank's target of 2%, the base rate reduced in August and November 2024, and again in February 2025 by 75 basis points to 4.50%. Although the markets are pricing in further reductions in base rate later this year, the Bank of England's own internal projections are showing inflation increasing back up to 3.75% in Q3 this year. We continue to operate a simple business model. We take in retail savings balances from customers like yourselves, and we bundle those up and we lend them out in mortgages. We don't borrow any money in the wholesale money markets. 100% of our mortgage business is funded by retail savings. Turning to the highlights for 2024, I'd just like to run through some of the key performance figures for you. Total assets increased by £86.7 million in the year to £693.7 million of total assets under management. It goes without saying this is the highest level of total assets ever recorded by the Society, as well as the highest growth ever achieved in a single year. Obviously, the majority of our balance sheet is made up of savings balances from people like yourselves, and 2024 was the best year for growth in savings balances. The savings balances, or cash, increased by £81.8 million, or 14.4% to £647 million of savings balances. We increased the number of savings accounts we held to just over £25,000. So how are we achieving this growth? So we've got 4 retail branches from Carmarthen in the west to Cowbridge in the east, which has expanded the core geographic operating area of South Wales. This has helped heighten the profile of and the products offered by the Society. As well as increasing our physical branch network, together with the number of frontline customer-facing staff based in those branches, the Bank of England increasing base rate from 0.10%, a 300-year low in the Bank of England's history, from December 2021 to 5.25% in August 2023. As a result of the increases in base rate in 2023, the Society increased the interest rates payable on all of its savings products. The increase in the Society savings interest rates was very well received by our existing and new customers. Our competitive range of savings accounts was a key factor in the net growth in savings balances that you can see on the screen. Whilst all of our branches made a positive contribution to the growth, it would be fair to say that our branches in Carmarthen and Swansea led the way. We also launched an online savings portal in July 2020 at the height of the COVID pandemic, when we went into the first lockdown. This has made a huge difference in attracting new savings customers to the Society, some of whom don't live within easy reach of one of our retail branches. We now have nearly 6,000 registered online savings users at the Society. Increasing our retail savings balances is vital to the future well-being of the Society. Needless to say, our savings balances of £647 million are the highest level of balances we've ever recorded. Turning to the mortgage side, in 2024 we achieved gross mortgage lending of £111 million, compared to our record year of £120 million in 2023. This was achieved by not offering loss-leading mortgage products or compromising the quality of our lending in terms of either the loan-to-income or loan-to-value ratios. Our mortgage balances increased by £52.3 million, or 10.9%, to £530 million of mortgage balances, and that comprised just over 2,500 mortgage customers. We continue to offer our mortgage customers a flexible face-to-face service at a time when most banks and building societies don't have full-time branch-based qualified mortgage advisors who know and understand the community that they're serving. We intend to continue to build on this area of our business model in 2025. As mentioned earlier, interest rates peaked at 5.25% in 2024. We were mindful that many of our customers had not experienced such a high interest rate environment since taking out their mortgages. We were considerate of the impact that these relatively high interest rates could have on both new and existing mortgage borrowers. The mortgage arrears at the year end increased to £104,000 on a mortgage book of £530 million. This, we feel, is testament to the quality of the advice given by our mortgage managers and our second line check provided by our mortgage underwriting team based in our head office. As you can see from the slide, the level of outstanding mortgage arrears has increased, although it remains very low compared to the levels of increased mortgage balances outstanding. The Society's mortgage book continues to be of a very high quality, with an average loan to value across the book of just 40%. The net profit before tax increased to 6.3 million, an increase of £100,000 for the year. As you can see from the slide, the profitability remains strong and consistent and ensures that the Society's capital continues to grow, providing long-term security for the business and you, our members. We've been able to reinvest these profits in the business over the last 3 years, with more staff, not just in the branches, but also in our head office in Swansea, in the IT team, finance, risk and compliance, and mortgage processing. We further improved our IT infrastructure, our software, and most importantly, our cyber security. We also operate serviced offices in Abergavenny for a business development manager and his assistant. Whilst the above will undoubtedly increase overheads in the short term, the impact on operating profits, I'm confident that the investment that we're making in staff, IT and premises will further heighten the profile of and the products offered by the Society. We will of course try to offset these increased costs by undertaking additional net mortgage lending. Turning to our reserves, maintaining a strong capital position, as I said earlier, is essential to ensuring the long-term security of the Society for you, our members. As a result of the net profits after tax and loan loss provisions, the Society's reserves increased to £44.5 million, a growth rate of 11.8%. As you can see, our reserves have increased considerably and consistently over the last 3 years, which has enabled us to grow the business in a controlled manner. The management expenses ratio is the description the building society sector gives to the administration costs of running the society. This ratio decreased to 1.17% of mean total assets from 1.25% in 2023. And as you can see from the graph, as we've grown the balance sheet, the business has become more efficient. It is likely this ratio will reduce in the short to medium term as we continue to grow the balance sheet further during 2025 and beyond. So 2025, this finds us again in confident mood. We've got a small network of 4 strategically located retail branches with access to online savings for those customers that choose to use this channel. Handily, our strapline on the wall is opening, not closing branches. And I can tell you, last week we purchased a former Halifax Bank branch in Abergavenny, and I'm hopeful that by this time next year, this branch will be fully operational and contributing to the future growth of the society. We continue to invest in IT, and I signed a new IT transformation agreement with our current IT customer database provider for 7 years from 2024. We've split this project into 3 separate phases. Phase 1 is the delivery of a new online and mobile savings platform. Hopefully over the course of the next 4 weeks, we'll have an app available on the phone. I've got 2 sons, one's 23, one's 28. They say, Dad, if it isn't on the phone, it doesn't exist, basically. So we're thinking of our future members and growing the customer base even further. So the intention could be, if somebody was sitting in Anglesey at home in the evening or on the weekend, they heard about Swansea Building Society, provided they passed their online ID and V check, they could open an account for themselves, transfer the money from their own bank account, and they would never have set foot in or near one of our 2B5 branches. Phase 2 is the delivery of a mortgage broker portal. Over 70% of our mortgage business comes from registered mortgage brokers throughout Wales and England. So we need a facility where they can download their information quickly to my mortgage team so that we can process those applications and deliver for their customers. This project, I'm hoping, will be complete by the end of this calendar year. Last and by no means least, in 2026, we're going to move from hosting our own IT in premises at Swansea to a cloud-based IT service provider, and that's the final piece of the jigsaw. All of the above is a substantial investment in the society, is designed to improve the service that we're able to offer you, our existing and potential new customers. Despite the ongoing uncertain geopolitical economic situation, our budget for 2025 indicates that we will continue to grow our balance sheet and capital and reserves as a result of increasing the volume of mortgage assets that the society now holds. It is true that at the time of delivering this report, the economic environment remains uncertain. Interest rates peaked at 5.25%, but have since reduced to 4.5%. It is highly probable that interest rates will reduce further during 2025. We continue to have the disruption and the threat of the unknown impact of the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, and the impact of the proposed tariffs from the US hanging over the UK economy. At Swansea Building Society, we will continue to work closely with our customers, government and regulators to ensure that we maintain our ability to withstand such shocks as the banking crisis, the COVID pandemic, and the cost of living crisis. Your society will continue to deal with these challenges whilst continuing to deliver excellent customer service and growing our business in a safe and controlled manner. Thank you. I will throw the floor open to questions in a second, but we've got a question from a member that was unable to attend, but they've asked me to read the question out, and I'll call on our Finance Director, Nathan Griffiths, to answer the question. So the question is in 2 parts. This is from a Mr. Williams, who I believe is from Carmarthen, and it says, when is Swansea Building Society going to have an app with a biometric access via use of a thumbprint? So I think I answered that question in my speech, but within the course of the next month, we're hoping to have an app on mobile devices, and you will be able to access your savings accounts and mortgage accounts by using that app. So Nathan's probably got a much better answer than I, but we'll come on to that. The second part of the question was, when is Swansea Building Society going to allow a CCTV camera to all AGMs, thus enabling all members to access the meeting? And then there's a comment at the end rather than a question. The notice for the AGM does not state whether or not customers submitting a question in advance has to be present at the meeting to propose it. Well, obviously, they don't have to be present because we're going to answer it now. Nathan, can I call on you to answer that?
Great, thanks Alan. Yeah, so Alan's stolen my thunder a little bit in terms of the mobile app, but it's a
Couldn't
very
help
timely
myself.
question, and it just adds to us providing what our members want really. So it's the app's in testing phase with Apple, so our IT team have been really committed to the project and done a great job to date, and it should go live in a few weeks' time. The app will have biometric access and it'll be available on the tablet, phones, and will allow our members to be able to transact and view their accounts on the move. So it's exciting, really exciting times. As Alan said, it's part of our investment in our digital proposition and follows hot on the coattails of the recent enhancement of our online savings platform. So the recent My Accounts platform that we've gone live with, which hopefully a lot of our members are already starting to use. We feel it's a better system than the old one, and helps us to drive our technology proposition forward. And it adds greater flexibility. So with the app and the enhanced savings proposition, we're providing great flexibility for our members to be able to transact and interact with us in the way that they want to. Alan mentioned as well, but I really want to stress this point is that this is very much in addition to our opening, not closing branches. So we're fully committed to the high street. It's not replacing our personal service, it's supplementary to it, and it won't replace face-to-face interactions. So I think that's a really important point to note. But I'm really pleased with the app and how it looks, and I'm really convinced it's going to meet the members' needs, and it's going to provide a fast and secure way for our members to be able to transact and manage their accounts. So the second one on the live streaming. So we did look at doing this. So we encourage our members to participate and contribute to the meeting. And that's why we encourage members to vote and ask questions ahead of the AGM. We did look at live streaming 2 years ago. We did do it, but there was a bit of a limited uptake, and with only a handful of registrations, and there was also some connectivity issues because you're reliant on the bandwidth of the internet at the venue. So what we did last year is we recorded the meeting, posted it on our website, and that resulted in a far higher uptake as members are allowed to view it at their own convenience. And please report that Henry is doing the same thing today so that members can watch the meeting at their own leisure.
Thank you. Has anybody got any questions either for myself, anybody else on the senior management team or the board about anything I've told you or anything we haven't discussed yet? Yes, madam.
You advised us that you're moving to a cloud-based system, a new cloud-based system.
Yeah.
Could you let us know where the backups are going to be for that?
Yes.
Most of the backups seem to be in the States.
Yeah. No, the company that we're moving to is a very large company that is worldwide, but our backups are in the UK and Europe only. So we made that a condition of the contract. That's a very good point. I wouldn't like them being in the States at the moment with Mr. Trump controlling my computer system. Anybody? Yes, sir.
Initially, a comment about the online app that's about to appear. Funnily enough, just a couple of weeks ago, I had a discussion with one of my sons who works for a major bank, and he was particularly critical of building societies that don't have apps and all the rest of it. So I'm absolutely delighted to see that we're moving ahead into that realm. So don't worry, I may not be using it, but the youngsters is critical to them and the work of that advancement. And hopefully it will drive some youngsters to invest with the building society.
Yeah.
On that same theme, though I generally find the society's interest rates competitive with other building societies, one thing has stood out to me recently when I was looking to put some money into a cash ISA, which was one of your local competitive building societies was offering a fixed 1 year cash ISA that was significantly higher than anything Swansea Building Society were offering. I just wondered if you have a comment on that and whether you have any proposals to offer the same sort of products.
We look at, we only class people as competitors if they've got a physical branch presence near a Swansea Building Society branch, and I think the example you're giving has, to be fair to you. We did launch a new 90-day notice ISA on the 6th of April for the new financial tax year, and that pays 3.95% with 90-day notice, which mirrors our 90-day savings account that isn't an ISA, if you like. So we did launch that at that time, and I believe the rate today on the account you're talking about isn't too far away from that.
Thank you.
But we do keep a very close eye on what our competitors are doing, provided they've got a physical presence on the high street. So if you said to me, it's the State Bank of India in London, I'd say that's really interesting, but unless they're in Carmarthen, Mumbles, Cowbridge, Swansea and Abergavenny, I don't think my members in West Wales are going to be very interested in that. Anybody else got any questions? No? Okay, I'll hand you back to our chairman, Mr. Steve Maddock. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Alun. I'd just like to finish off by wanting to give my sincere thanks to the senior management team and all the staff of Swansea Building Society for their dedication and hard work. Your collective efforts have delivered the results and the performance that Alun has spoken of today, and I think it's been fantastic. So thank you all to all the staff. I'd also like to thank my colleagues on the board for your help, guidance, support and wisdom. It's been excellent over the last 12 months, and I hope we continue for the next 12 months. And finally, lastly, but by no means least, the members. I'd like to thank you all for your continued support and trust of the Society, and you can rest assured that your interests, your best interests, will be at the heart and the core of everything we do. Thank you all very much for attending. The buffet is open, and please enjoy yourself the rest of the day. Thank you all.